Hi, and welcome to Smart Beach Investors weekly real estate update for Florida's Emerald Coast. This is where we take a look at the vital market statistics, looking for trends and anything that will tell us where prices are headed in the short term and even the long term. Then we offer a little bit of analysis that will help you determine whether you should buy, sell, or hold your property. All right? That's what we do. I'm John Moran. I am the CEO and founder of Keller Williams Realty's At the Beach team and Smart Beach Investor. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and get started. Remember when buyers used to jump all over a property as soon as it came on the market? Remember those days? And they'd wait in line to see if they get a chance to outbid the other people trying for it. And whether they got it or not, they'd be happy or sad, elated or mad. Remember those days? Wasn't that long ago. And the reason why those came about were these colossal forces of scarcity, a lack of inventory, and urgency because prices were going up so fast. And what would happen is these buyers would lose out on a deal that would cause them to jump even faster at the next one and pay even higher prices just to lock it in, right? And that spiral kept going until it didn't. Think of it like musical chairs when the music stops. Remember those days? Well, let's take a look at what we're doing now with our current market. Let's start with the Destin prices first. Let's take a look at what's happened to them. Go back and look at this chart right here. Check this out. So from 2019 to 2022, prices for Destin homes jumped from $533,750 to $1,050,050. That's a 96.7 jump. That's a massive, massive jump that we saw back then, right? Now the homes in the last year, they're cooling off. As you'd expect, they just can't keep going like that, and they're cooling off. Matter of fact, in Destin, we've seen a fallback in prices, 6.7%. On the condo side, from 19 to 22, they went from 330,000 to 526 as a median sales price. Still almost a 60% jump in price over that short period of time. Now, they're still going up. If you look at it, 22 to 23, last year to this year, year over year, year to date, they're still up 9.5%. Certainly not as high as they were jumping, but they're still up. They're holding, which is interesting. Okay? It's slowing down, but they're holding in Destin. Let's take a look at 30A. 30A, what do we got here? 2019 to 2022 in houses on 30A, the median price went from $789,480 to $1,005,000. That's a jump. That's a jump of 90%. In just 3 years, right? 2.5, really. Now let's see. They're still up again, 7.3. They went from $1,005,000 to $1,610,000. That's still a good number, but certainly 7.3 is not 90%. They're certainly slowing down. How about the condos? 2019 to 2022, the condos went from $522,500 to $815,000 as a median sales price. Again, that's a 56% jump. That's a big jump in just a little bit of time. They're still doing fine. Look at 15.4% year over year. That's still pretty good for condos on 30A. Certainly slowing down though, and I would expect they're probably going to continue to slow down. Panama City, what are they doing? Let's take a look. All right. Panama City Beach housing. What's going on here? In 2019 to 2022, we saw prices go from $319, 1.25 to $507. It's 59% jump. Ooh, that's still a pretty nice jump in just a short period of time. But Panama City is slowing down. Still up, but certainly slowing down. Year over year, last year to this year, 500,000 to 518,595. That's a 3.7% up. Okay, still up, but certainly not 59% up. Condos, let's take a look at the condos. All right, 2019 to 2022, condo median sales price, $250,000 jumped to $425,000. That's a 70% jump in just a few years. Super cool. Year over year though, going back 1 year, still up 2.4%. That's an up, certainly not 70%, but it's still up. All right, went from 4.25 to 435. Okay, looking at this data, I wonder, have we climbed the mountain? Are we at the top of Price Mountain? Is there more mountain to climb? Let's look at it. Looking at this data, the big question I have is, are we at the top of Price Mountain? Or are we at a plateau and there's still some more mountain to climb? Let's take a look, see what we can find out. Look at inventory and scarcity. Do we still have scarcity in the market? Or is inventory starting to climb and giving buyers some supply to choose from? Well, take a look at this graph. Whoa, look at this graph. All across our area in all categories. Take a look at that. Let's start with Destin houses. Year over year, number of properties listed for sale, down 15.3%. Condos, down 19.6%. There are fewer properties listed for sale. There's still massive scarcity. 38 houses, down 9.36%. There's not as many this year as there was last year. Condos on 38, down 19.9%. Again, there's not nearly as many condos listed for sale in 38 as there was last year. Panama City, down. Houses down 13.6%. Condos down 13.4%. Those are significant decreases in supply. There is still a lot of scarcity in the market. And that's going to be hard on buyers. Let's look at other kinds of scarcity. Let's talk about scarcity of cheap, easy money in mortgage rates. What's going on with mortgage rates? Well, the average U.S. 30-year fixed rate mortgage in October last week, 7.49%. Okay, that's the highest it's been since November of 2000, 23 years ago. There's a scarcity of cheap, easy money. Let's talk about this rate scarcity just for a minute, okay? Just to put some perspective at it. So if a borrower looking for $600,000 in today's current rates, the monthly mortgage payment's going to be about, $4,200 a month, all right? That's up 9% over the rate it was a year ago, okay? Crazy? You ready for crazy? It's up 66% over just 2 years ago. All right. There is a massive scarcity of cheap, easy money. And by all accounts, it doesn't look like the Fed's going to be bringing it down. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to go higher. All right. So watch that. Okay. So that's the scarcity side of it. The thing that we're missing is the urgency side, because prices have slowed down. The increases have slowed down so much. And even in one case here, Destin homes, they're even going down in price. Buyers aren't feeling the same urgency, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. So they're choosing to slow down or wait. Likewise, the sellers aren't all that concerned about losing money. They're still gaining in most cases, even though not as much, but they're still gaining. They don't have any fear of missing out. So what we have is some sort of a equilibrium, a coasting of the market, right? Until something changes. There's a lot of talk that there's going to be a crash. I'd even argue we already have a crash. Take a look at the number of transactions and how much they've gone down over the last year. Take a look. We'll start in Destin houses. Number of transactions down 26.7%. All right, 1 in 4 or less. Okay, condos a whopping 40% down, 40.3% fewer condos being sold this year over last year. 38 houses, 29.9%, basically 30% fewer homes being sold on 38. Condos, 34.2%. There's just transactions are way off. Panama City, same thing. Looks like it. Down 13% on the homes and 33.7% on the condos. Folks, buyers and sellers are choosing not to play right now. Okay? It's just they're choosing not to play. They don't know what to do, so they're doing nothing. All right? And we're seeing it in the transactions. What's it all mean? What's it all mean? Well, here's the thing, right? As long as this equilibrium is in play and nobody's doing anything, everybody's just sitting back waiting to see Are we at the plateau and there's more climbing to be done? Or are we at the peak and it's time to start heading down? We're just waiting to see. And it's going to come soon. Watch for it. We'll have it here for sure. We'll report on it here for sure. What's at risk? That's really the question, right? What's at risk? Well, if we are indeed at the peak, at the top of the mountain, and price is going to start coming down, well, if anything that happens is like anything in the past, when we've had a steep increase, it's almost always followed by a steep decline, just the way it's been. And we've had a steep increase like we talked about. So if we're at the top, there will likely be a steep decline, all right? How steep and how long remains to be seen. But if we are at the top, when things clear and we're at the top, look for a steep decline. That's what's at risk if you're a seller. If you're a buyer and we're on a plateau, when everything clears and we notice we're on a plateau and the prices are going higher because we got a higher mountain to climb, that's going to be a problem for you, because then the scarcity is going to get even more scarce and the urgency is going to get even more urgent. So that's going to be a problem. What we recommend you do, right? This is what we do. We're wealth creators. We want you to max out your position as a owner, buyer, or seller. What we recommend you do is this. If you're in it for the long haul, ride it out. Just ride it out. You don't care because the markets go up, they go down. Ride it out and sit back. Heck, you might, if they drop, you might become a buyer, okay? But you short time players, you folks that aren't in it for the long haul, say 5 years or longer, I would be a little cautious, all right? Mitigate your risk of prices falling and falling far and fast, and get out now. If you're not in it for a long haul, not worth the risk. Send us an email at info@smartbeachinvestor.com. We'll talk to you about where the market's at right now and give you some insight as to where it might be going, and protect your asset, protect the equity you've built up, because the next little while is going to be questionable at best, okay? That's what we do. Again, send us an email to info@smartbeachinvestor.com, and we can talk to you about how to protect your equity, all right? That's what's going on this week, folks. Stop back next week. There'll be something new.